Welcome to our step-by-step installation guide for the Ford Bronco Interior Lightbar. In this video, we'll be demonstrating the installation process using our Interior Lightbar on a 2024 Ford Bronco. Let's get started. Inside the box, you'll find a waterproof inline fuse, thick gasket trim, thin gasket trim, additional foam kit, 2 sets of hang bracket kits, one for driver's side and one for passenger side. Within the hang bracket kits will be the mount hardware totaling 4 screws and 4 lock washers. Lastly, you'll have the interior light bar. The following tools are needed for installation. Glass cleaner. Make sure to have a cloth available for glass cleaner. Shears, scissors, pick, T20 Torx, Phillips head screwdriver, metal trim tool, plastic trim tool, ratchet with 7mm socket, impact adapter with 8mm socket, and a drill. Make sure you have all the components before you begin. Setup. Now we'll begin by installing the trim onto the shrouds. First, you'll take the thick trim and install it on the front leading edge of the shroud. Simply press the trim onto the shroud. Once the trim is pressed fully on the front leading edge, take the shears and cut the trim to the correct size. Next, take the thin trim. For best fitment, cut the trim at a 45-degree angle to ensure complete seal and no flashback in the vehicle. Now do this for the side edges and the back edge on the bar. Now take the foam gasket and split it down the middle as perforated. Pull back a little of the adhesive protective sleeve and install the foam on the top of the thick trim. Then just work your way down the thick trim and cut to size. Repeat this on both shrouds. Now that the bar is prepped, we'll move on to the installation in the vehicle. Before we can install the bar, we'll need to remove a couple of pieces off the vehicle first to make the install easier. First, remove the cover on the roof latch by simply pulling down on it. Next, take the drill and remove the 2 8mm bolts on the airbag trim piece. After that, the next airbag cover can be removed by pulling back on the area shown. That will have a 7mm screw holding in the retaining cable. Slide the cable off the trim and remove. Next, remove the sun visors. Using the trim tool, pop off the outer cover to get access to the 7mm screw holding it in place and remove the screw. Put the sun visor in the stow position, then flip down to delatch it. On the mirror's light harness, peel the tape back and press the release clip to disconnect. Now remove the inner side visor clip by using the pick tool to get under the opening and push away to gain access to the T20 screw holding the clip on. Using the T20 driver, remove the screw and the clip. Follow all these steps for the other side of the vehicle. Moving on to the center of the vehicle, remove the adaptive cruise control cover with the plastic trim tool. Now it's time to prep the window for light bar installation. Using the window cleaner, spray the top half of the windshield on the inside. Do the same for both sides and let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes before wiping off with a microfiber cloth. Then reinstall the visor clips with the brackets provided. Start with the inner one first and use the smaller width of the 2 bracket sizes. place on the clip as shown. Using the T20, reinstall the visor clip with bracket, but leave it a little loose for adjustability later on. Note the wire colors on the end of the harness. Each one has a function. The black wire is ground. The red wire is 12-volt power. The white wire is full white, and the green wire is full amber. Now take the main wire harness and either tape the ends together or clip the wire ends. This helps with wire routing. We're going to route the wire behind the trim and down the A-pillar. First, pop off this trim piece and feed the wires behind it. Make sure to avoid any clips or locator tabs on the trim piece. Once through, pull some of the slack through to help with routing down the A-pillar. Keep note where the wires are being routed. Avoid any areas where the airbag is. Pull all slack through and begin to pull up the bar after the wire has been properly routed. Now, with the slack pulled tight, hold the bar roughly into place and line up the PEM on the back of the shroud with the inner hang bracket. Start to thread in the screw with the locking washer loosely in. This will hold the bar in place while we install the outer hang bracket. Now, reconnect the mirror light connector and rewrap the tape around it. Begin to reinstall the sun visor. Get it to latch in on the hinge. Before installing fully, take the larger of the hang brackets and slide it underneath the clip. Now that it's in place, take the 7mm socket and tighten in the screw for the sun visor. Again, leave this a little loose for adjustability. Once that screws in, take the screw for the back of the shroud and install that in loosely. Repeat bracket install on the other side, the driver's side, and install that shroud loosely. Now to route the jumper harness and hide it in the trim. Using a plastic trim tool, pop off the top trim piece so you're able to tuck the jumper harness underneath it. Work your way around the trim. Once the jumper harness is routed and tucked safely under the trim, reinstall the adaptive cruise control cover. The two Tinnerman clips will pop back into place. Now to complete installation on the bar, we're going to tighten down the screws on the back of the shroud using a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Before tightening down, make sure to push up on the shroud to have it seal on the top trim. Then, after that is completed, tighten down the visor clip's hardware fully. The 7mm socket on the outside and the T20 Torx on the inside. This will also help suck the bar up flush to the headliner. If you're still seeing some gaps between the shroud and the headliner, lightly push up on the top trim to fill in any of those small gaps. Now test the lights to make sure everything is working correctly. And thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more off-road lighting content. Don't forget to follow our Instagram and Facebook pages for new product announcements, giveaways, and more. Until next time, keep exploring and stay safe out there.